All right, so we continue to get closer and closer to the end here. I got the research for solar panels and accumulators, so I went ahead and set up those machines, got them configured. But what I realized is that when I do my normal solar panel setup, I do something that requires the substations. And I looked and realized we didn't have substations yet because we didn't have electric distribution 2. Now, I'm hoping, crossing my fingers here, that if I cancel space science, I don't lose my partial work. But come on. So I don't know if I lost my partial work, but I really need my substations. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, if I remember correctly, I think it's a 5x5. And so in here, we're going to need a I don't remember exactly here. All right. Oh, no, I think the substations, I don't know. We'll get working on that as soon as we can. That's going to be our basic layout there. We're going to have a similar layout for accumulators. So, of course, accumulators are Factorio's batteries. And so they charge up during whenever you've got a surplus, and then they discharge during the night. Well, it doesn't have to be the night, but normally that's what's going on. Normally what's happening is you're setting up a solar distribution or a solar panel setup. And so they're going to be that. All right. Electric energy distribution 2, still waiting on it. All right, so what else are we waiting on, or can we get things set up? Let's take a look at the satellite here. The satellite processing unit, low density. All right, so we have all of these pieces. So we'll go ahead, we'll copy that. That's going to be, it was 6 pieces total? Yeah. All right, so our plan here is that we're going to end up with a factory where we're going to have two lines like this. We're going to have another line like this, and then an output line that goes vertical. Oh, I got it spaced perfectly. Oh, nice. Happy me. All right. Oh, good. It did save the science. That used to not be true in single player. It would not save where you were in your scientific development. But looks like they changed that at some point. Okay. We're going to take this and go that way. Let's move everything down 1, I think. We'll take this and we'll go that way. Then we'll take a third and it will go that way. All right. So we've got our inserters that way. We'll have inserters like this and like this. So that will be our satellite production when it's finally ready. So let's see what else we have. We need the accumulators. We need the solar panels. All right. So we're going to have those 2 things. This is going to be, those are the second set. Accumulators were recent, solar panels just a little bit less so. What are the other things we need? Low density and blue circuit. Oh, rocket fuel, low density, and blue circuits. We don't have rocket fuel on the bus yet. How do we want to get this done? So this is not actually going to be something like this. Tell you what, let's do it like this. Let's have an input line, connect it like that. we'll have a bus coming up like this. This will need to go sideways. All right, there we go. Okay. Oh, and I can build substations. I should do so. And of course, I'm short on resources. I forgot to go fill myself up with lots of resources. But we'll get a quick run here. All right, let's get these two things at least prototyped. I don't want to spend too much time collecting resources because that's just boring to watch. All right, so here's where our rocket fuel line is. And we'll want to take all of this, move it out of the way, so that we can connect this. All right, rocket fuel will come up then like this. We'll join the belt to be one side of that. All right, cool. I actually could fill in some of these just to make myself feel good about myself. See, this is where accumulators are going to come out, and solar panels are sitting here. So they're actually very close to each other. Okay, so rocket fuel is in, so now we've got four out of 5. We need low density and processing units. And there's the processing units. Low density's got to be a lot higher. Is it actually connected, or is it all getting consumed by research right now? Let's take a look. Low density is really hard to see on the belt, actually, so it may be there and I'm just blind to it currently. But no, it's not. All right, let's put a piece of junk here, something that doesn't belong, because that will get shoved left the same as low density structures would, except of course for that one splitter. Let's see, this. All right. So of course you've seen me before where I can track this by hand and figure out exactly. In fact, I'm doing it right now. But sending some dummy thing along on the line, nice way to sanity check to make sure you haven't done something silly. But that should be the low density. And rocket fuel. Oh no, it's not rocket fuel. It's the blue circuits that we need. Okay. All right. So I think we make this to be blue circuits. We make this to be, let's see, low density structures. Are they? Oh, they're there. And also, we're not making rocket parts yet. I just remembered. We do want to fix that. Or not rocket parts. Where rocket parts you make inside the silo. What I meant was rocket control units. All right, so that's going to get all of those pieces. We got some put in there illegitimately. All right, so this is going to be satellites coming out. I guess it's not. We're not going to put. Well, I guess we'll put it temporarily on the belt just enough to make the rocket control units. All right, the rocket control units, processing unit plus speed module. Oh, that'll be pretty easy. And I think we've already got the science for all of that. So processing unit we already have. And then speed module. All right. Speed module. There we go. And blue was here, therefore was here. That hardly needs to get copied at all. Speed module, on the other hand, is way the heck up there somewhere on the belt. There we go. Speed module there. And then here. All right, so that's where think I may have just pasted into, yeah, we didn't want that. All right, so this is going to, oh, switch my, let's do that. Oh. All right. So this is going to be rocket control units, which we can already queue up. Rocket control units, there we go. And now I think that's everything that we need here. So rocket control units are made, rocket control unit, low density, and rocket fuel to make rocket parts. Plus we need the satellite to go in for other reasons. We're ready to put down the silo. Oh, that's awesome. All right, so let's go, let's take this and, okay, just so someday it's scalable, although I can't imagine that we'll ever actually have multiple rockets going here. What we'll do here is we'll do a belt like this, which is a little strange, but what we're doing is we're setting up to do this. All right, and really like to see that. All right, and this one, almost always I put preference to earlier in the belt, but here I'm actually going to put it later in the belt. And we've got our rocket silo here. Needs a power cable. Something very strange about just connecting one tiny little power cable. But still, oh no, the whole thing's off by one, isn't it? I guess I could have come in from the other side, but still, this is my way. Actually, I do like coming in from the other side because then I can use simple inserters both sides. We'll call that good. All right. Simple inserters going in, belts, belts. And what are the things it needs? It needs rocket control unit, low density, and rocket fuel, plus the satellite. So this is going to be rocket control unit plus rocket fuel. Then we need a belt on the other side, which is satellite plus low density. So low density was sitting here. It's going to be here. The satellite was here. It's here. Okay. No problem. And all right. We can copy the low density up. We don't have a splitter that says satellite yet. Well, we can't have a splitter that says satellite yet because we don't have satellite in our research yet. All right, we'll do that. We'll have it disconnected so that it won't come into play yet. All right, so once we have satellite research, then we'll be able to do that. Well, folks, I think we're almost ready. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to pause the episode right here. I don't know how long it's been. Let's see where we are. All right, so I just checked and we're only at about 15 minutes. So I'm going to pause right here and go offline, get all my resources so that I can get my belts filled up, and hopefully we'll make some more progress towards that space science. All right, part two of what evidently is going to be a choppy little episode here. So I laid out the solar panels and the accumulators. Found out that it was actually, you can do a 7x7 solar panel layout, not 5x5, because basically the substation will cover about that much. You can just barely tickle each corner of those solar panels. If you do a 5x5, then the substations have wires that are long enough to connect to each other. But if you do 7x7, you don't have that. So I choose to have 2 empty spaces in the middle, substation, and a large pole. So now we can create a grid. I put little walking spaces between them. If you're doing it all based on robots, it's not necessary. I have a similar setup here with the accumulators. The other thing I wanted to show you what I've got so far, I really increased our low density structure production. So we are finally getting a few of those. You can find them on the belt here. I've increased the rocket control unit production because we needed a lot more of those. And then this is how the rocket works internally. So the rocket is both a crafting facility and also the place where things launch from. So you need to craft 100 of these rocket parts in order to build a rocket. Each of these rocket parts, as you can see, is 10 of each of the lesser pieces. So you need 1,000 of these to craft a single rocket. They're pretty quick to craft once you've actually got all the pieces. And so what's going on here is that as rocket control units come in, they get fed in, new rocket parts get crafted. And you can see here that we're at 2% towards completion. So we've built 2 parts so far. We're going to need another roughly 1,000 of everything. Space science is coming along, but slowly. So let's take a look to see what space science is waiting on. You'll see occasionally I'll put these little things that dump onto the bus or something like that. That's just because if I get too much stuff in my inventory, I'll sometimes, like here, I had a whole bunch of stone brick, so I just feed it in to a machine that wants it. All right, yellow science, at least last I checked, was the thing that was limiting us, and it's still no. Okay, so we're making enough to keep the yellow science busy. Well, let's see if we could kick it up one more. Let's see here. Can we move that further? Would that work? Can I move those all the way over there and still have them connected? Nope, that's as far as they go. All right. Oh, they can go one step further. Okay. Yeah, because our underground belts have limited length. Let's do this and then this. That should work. No, wait a minute, it's not going to. Because this won't be able to reach far enough. All right. Let's take all of this. We can move it this far. All right, let's do that, and then we'll just get a little funny with the belt position. There we go. And then we can start copy pasting yellow science. Now, of course, I just kicked up the yellow science. I kicked up low density structures so that we could make more rocket parts. But now I'm doing something that's going to starve low density structure because we're going to use it all for yellow science. But I think right now it's a good choice. We'll see if there are other things that start to become bottlenecks after all this goes through. You look back here, I'm assuming low density structures may still be a problem now. But also we had flying robot frames. We probably need to increase that, but we'll need to get this hacked thing off the belt out of the way first. The other thing that it needed was blue circuits, and blue circuits do look like they're pretty tapped out. All right, well, I'll do some more upgrading of the various production facilities while we're waiting for the science to get built. All right, so we're back for the last little bit here. And I keep telling you that we're really close to building a rocket, and it keeps feeling that way, but evidently it's further away than I realized. The truth is that I don't very often actually finish building the rocket because I'm normally get distracted with trains and such like that. I like to build the big mega base rather than build the rocket itself. So, it's been a long time since I built a rocket. I didn't realize how much work there is to do. So I've been offline here. I've been doing a whole bunch of upgrading of the base, making production better in a number of different ways. I thought I'd show you one little trick that I do here on the Rainbow Bus, and then we'll come back to it. All right, so here we've got an example here of we're not gonna need any more copper ore anymore after this point. So there's really no point to having this copper on the bus. So we could go ahead and we could clean up all of those things. But of course, we don't need these splitters either. So watch, if you put in a straight line and then a little curve jog here, then what you can do is you can basically replicate what the shape of the path that the copper ore was taking, but now you've removed the splitter so that it's not involved. So now you could do that also. Any place that the copper ore was crossing over, you do the same thing. You put in a little jog here. And what this does is it creates a dead line within your belt, which isn't the prettiest thing, but it works fairly well. We're going to clean all this up. This will replace with then like that. Pick that up. Get that out of the way. And yeah. All right. So we are still trying to get production up to everything we want. You know what? Since we've got logistic, let's go ahead and let's start off. I'll show you another trick I do here. All right, so let's create a requester chest. And that'll be a chest here. I'll put copper into it, copper ore into it. Now, of course, I could put this on the belt, but because this is designed to just be a place where we're draining things long term, it's not going to have a lot of throughput. You could just do it like this. All right, let's do a requester chest, and we will request copper ore. Just kick it up to whatever the maximum is. So now, as we get roboports, we still haven't built them, but we keep talking about building them. When we eventually get roboports built, then any copper ore that ends up in the logistics system for any reason, for instance, because of chests that I've put out there at various points where I've been dropping off trash, it will eventually get dropped off here into this chest. In addition, we will you'll eventually, what you want is the auto character logistic trash slots. And what this will do is this will allow you to configure automatically that you don't want things. And so if I ever pick up copper ore on accident, it automatically gets thrown into the trash slot. Then the logistic robots will pick it up from me and will deliver it to the place where it's being requested. And so it becomes a very nice way of handling anything that needs to be trashed. So anyway, it's going to take us a little while to get everything running here. I am kind of curious. Oh, this doesn't need to be a splitter. That could just be an ordinary belt like that. Let's take a look. How far along are we? We're about 2/3 of the way on the space science. How far along are we on building the rocket itself? Coming along. That's where we're going to build the satellite. And here's where we're building that. We're sitting at 12%. All right. So, we'll kick this off once more, and this will be the end of this episode. I think next episode I might show you some of the work I'm doing with trains to upgrade our throughput. We might play around with actually having a smelting train. Oh, that's incorrect. Very interesting. So that's been broken since the beginning. We might play around with getting a smelting train, but basically what we're waiting is for science to finish and then for us to build the rocket here. We are short of low-density structures. We're short of low-density structures because I increased yellow science, which if I get just far enough over, you'll be able to see... Oh, no, it's right there. Yeah, so we got a lot of yellow science, so now we're chewing up all the low-density structures, and we'll have to get even more of those. Anyway, hope it's been interesting. It's been fun, and I'm looking forward to actually launching this rocket for once. All right. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.